was the movie was terrible. By the way, we live, baby.
Yeah, we back.
We back, baby.
Yeah,
We back,
movie
man.
reviewing and
We
stuff.
just movie reviewing. To all those that watch Halloween Ends,
Yeah,
the movie was terrible.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Keep.
I just say I hope you ain't spend your money to go to the movie theater.
We didn't. We
And me
watched
and
it
my
right in
sister,
the house.
me and my sister was gonna go watch it. We planned this last year when the last movie went out, and we was like, all right, she was gonna fly here. We was gonna have like a brother sister date and go watch the Halloween movie. And then we found out it was on Peacock. We was like, all right, we ain't gotta do all that. We watched it on Peacock, and it wasn't that great. It was
That's how they knew. That's how you knew. They put it.
Yeah, they put it straight to Peacock. I should have known then.
I'm like, man, I want my $4.99 back now, Peacock.
Yeah. Oh, you paid.
Yeah,
Nope,
you paid for
I didn't
it.
pay, man. I don't pay for movies.
Subscription.
I don't pay for movies, man.
I pay for my subscription.
I got what I paid for.
Hey man, it's your boy the CEO B. Then you got Mr. Who Loves Your Baby, and you got Coach A, the life coach of all time. Hey man, how y'all brothers doing this morning?
Hey, good, man. It's a nice. It's gonna be like 80 degrees here today.
Yeah, it's kind of cold right now, but it's supposed to get up to 80 here too. I'm excited. Boy.
Me too.
The last couple of days, it's been cool. It's
been nice. It was nice yesterday here.
It was
I'm like, oh man.
We had about a 60, 65 with the breeze. It was nice, so nice, so nice.
Yeah, once it gets 65 here in Florida, they start complaining.
Y'all be buckling up.
Down there wearing Timberlands and stuff. Man, Timberlands and white coats.
I'm out here wearing sweatpants and shirts in 65-degree weather, man. It's so nice, man. It's so nice. But I guess we the three Lone Rangers today, so let's just shout out the three amigos that decided to get up and do our podcast.
It's been tough for me the last couple of weeks.
I know, man. We're glad to have you back on, man. I can't wait. I can't wait till all of us is back full force, man. I mean, since the first 1 or 2 or 3 episodes, we was all rocking it. After that, we start splitting up. We having special appearances on our own shows. So, but nah, shout out to Nate the Great, and Nick the Legend, Michael Jody Skywalker, one half Unhinged,
Chef Jimbo,
and Chef Jimbo, Cree. We miss you guys, but we're gonna rock it out today. It's the three amigos. We the ones that carry the show anyway, so just let everybody. Hey man, we'll be right back. Man, look here. I was talking so much trash. I was talking so much trash. Y'all welcome back to First Lady Creisha.
Hey.
What's going on?
Refreshed.
Refreshed. That's what's up. We are glad to have. I'm talking trash about all y'all. I'm saying me, Telly, and Coach A, we carry the show anyway. So that's
yeah. I'm about to say you can add me in there too, because I missed the last couple weeks.
It's all good.
Good
We know
morning,
people got
everybody.
things going on. But good morning, Cree. Welcome back. Welcome back. We have
Glad to be
missed you.
back.
Yeah, we have missed you. So we are glad to see you.
Yeah, you
Thank
was at a
you.
wedding. Was you at a wedding?
Yeah, it was my sister's wedding this last
How'd
weekend.
Nice.
that go? How'd that go?
Yo, that was like probably the best wedding I've ever gone to. And not because
That's
of
what's
my
up.
sister, it's because like I've been to so many and I've been a part of so many, but it was the most organized. Like
Oh,
Yeah,
so
it makes a
that's
yeah.
what's up.
difference.
That
It
makes a
makes a
difference.
major difference. I didn't
Yeah.
even have to do a lot of maid of honor duties as I thought I did because it was so good. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Look,
That's
you was
what's up.
looking fire too, boy.
Oh, thank you. You saw me.
I'm thinking your
Yeah.
wedding gonna be coming up next.
Hey, listen, I saw
I'm
in that
waiting
black
for that
dress.
husband.
Yeah.
I saw in that black dress. I said, Cree, what you doing? You better put something on them shoulders.
I'm gonna invite all of us. We got to be in the wedding. We got to be in that wedding too.
Which wedding?
Yours when that come
Oh,
up.
yeah, of course. I'm claiming in the name of Jesus.
There you go. There you go.
Next year I'll be somebody's fiance. I don't know
Uh-oh.
who he is,
Uh-oh.
but
You can
somebody's
bring
fiance.
them to my wedding. That's what you do. Bring them to my wedding.
I should have. Hopefully by that time.
Don't rush it now. Don't rush
Right.
it. Yeah, don't rush
How's
it.
everyone else though?
Hey
How
man,
y'all
we
doing?
good. We good. Me and Sam still going on with the wedding plans. I hope y'all got y'all invitations. I know Creek
Yes.
got your Coach. You got yours?
I don't think so.
You ain't got yours yet? I know some people still this mail, boy. The mail service is terrible. Some people got it a couple of days later.
Snail mail.
Some people got it a week later. So and I'm also gonna be messaging my groomsmen here pretty soon on what we got going on.
What's the date again? Tell me the date again. I'll make sure I'm
April 28th.
29th.
Oh, 29th. There you go.
29th. Yeah, so I'm
You can show up on the 28th. Nobody will be there just yet.
Be messaging my groomsmen about what we're wearing and stuff here pretty soon within the next week or so. So y'all be prepared for that. But we ain't talking about me or nobody else. This is
we always talk about y'all.
Man, this is family talk. We're gonna get into that mental health chat. Mental health check. First off, before we do mental health check, to all our viewers that watch us, all our family members that watch us, please like, subscribe, and share. We appreciate the love.
Yeah,
We appreciate all of the comments that y'all been putting into the reels that we just started on Facebook. That's going very well. We appreciate the love y'all show us on Instagram. Remember, we still got a TikTok that we also have aboard. That's my little man coming in saying good morning.
What's up?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. And then we got my daughter over there trying not to get in the camera. All right. They said
we saw them feet. We saw them feet.
They said they saw the feet in the camera. So
Stop looking at my feet.
So she said stop looking at her feet. But yeah, we appreciate all the love. Y'all continue to support us. We love you guys and like, subscribe, and share. So mental health check. Let's start with Mr. Who Loves Your Baby. How that mental health check going today?
It's a 10 today, man. I'm good. I got my babies here and got some plans on cleaning today.
hey, Saturdays be the day. We do our cleanings on Sundays, but Saturdays be the day, man.
Yeah, I don't want to do nothing tomorrow.
I feel
Football day.
I feel you. Coach, hey, how that mental health check going today? 1 to
10, man. 10. I got a busy day today. It's a huge concert in Tampa, KB. No big deal. Tripoli.
Hey, I'll be listening to KB.
Yeah. Their concert sold out already, so I'm working. I'm
security?
Yeah,
he's security.
So I got to get me some pictures too. I'm excited about that.
Hey man, get some pictures of KB, man. I love to see that, man.
Yeah.
I listen to him every morning when I'm driving to work during my worship time with me and the Lord.
Yeah,
KB
absolutely.
on my playlist, man.
I'm telling you, man, you got to tune in to the Impact Station. I got all that on there and more.
I do got. I ain't even. I know about the station,
for sure,
but I got my playlist. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna check out the station next week when I'm on the way to work, man. Cree, you back? You refreshed? You look like you refreshed. What's that mental health at? 1 to 10.
I'm a 10 today.
You a 10?
Yeah. Trying to hide from the camera.
Oh.
They already see you.
I thought I thought she was a Muslim. I thought she bent down to pray to the east. I'm like, assalamu alaikum.
I guess she's so shy.
Hey, you got the turn the heat on, man. Y'all act like you ain't got no heat over there. Got the hair.
Man, you better ask Taylor. You just turn the AC off. That's what you do.
Right.
You
Man,
turn the heat on. Just turn
man,
the
it
AC
was cold in this bad boy. We was like, man, look, trying to turn that heat on just yet, man.
Yeah.
Don't want that heating bill.
Exactly. But my mental health, I'm at a 10, man. I was a little bit in between the 6 and 7 range midweek. I took me a day off of work, a little mental health day, get some time to myself and re-energize myself. But right now, man, I'm at a 10. I'm all on go. So that's where we at with the mental health. To all our viewers that's watching or will be watching, I'll drop y'all mental health down in the comment section, man, and let us know how y'all feeling and all that type stuff. Yeah, baby, it's supposed to be 80 today.
80.
It's supposed to be 80 today. But I got the hoodie on right now. So it will come off at some point. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Y'all know what time it is. I don't even know if he got information for y'all, but we gonna see.
What's up? What's up, man? It's your boy Coach A. If you standing up, you can stay standing because I ain't got nothing for you this morning.
Oh, they ain't sitting their butts down this morning.
Listen, I do got something. I got a video. Have y'all seen that the woman in the cotton fields twerking?
Nah.
No.
Gosh, let me show y'all.
I heard about it, but didn't see it.
Let me see if I can pull the controls.
Just can you share your screen?
Yeah, that's what I usually can, but I don't see it no more.
You see it where it says present?
Yeah, present. There you go.
Yeah, and then here share screen.
Yeah, let me do that so y'all can see this crazy video. Do y'all see it?
No,
it's coming.
We see it.
There it is. Let me put the music up too.
It ain't.
Oh, it's not playing.
It's not. It must be some type of lag with my internet. So
what she was doing, twerking?
Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
Yeah. It's another one in there. It's another girl that comes in there behind her and start throwing cotton like it's not.
Oh my gosh. Hey man, technology and TikTok and all that stuff is getting out of control.
Yeah.
It's getting
so, but some of the headlines that I what made that interesting is that there was the headlines behind that was that they was getting on, I guess, Kanye about some of the stuff he said or something about the George Floyd situation.
Mm-hmm.
That they got these two girls in this field twerking and throwing cotton like they slaves twerking. So, I don't get into none of that stuff, but it was just interesting.
Oh my gosh. We're not talking about Kanye today, are we?
Unless y'all got something to say about it. I mean, Kanye,
I ain't got
Kanye,
he his own person. He just like everybody else in the world. Let him be who he gonna be.
But I feel like, again, we talked about this before, just everybody just so sensitive, but we pick and choose,
Yeah, that's true.
Media, either it's the media or I think the media pick and choose what we become sensitive about. Because if we don't hear about it, or if we don't make it a big deal, then it's not a big deal. But then once the media put it out there and you see a lot of other people making it a big deal, it tend to become a big deal in us. You ever think about that? I was just talking to my wife about this. A prime example. We was talking about, we had an event, the Feast of Tabernacles last week, where we were celebrating every single day. And so we had a lot of people coming in and different dancers doing dances and stuff. Right, but after this all said and done, you hear about all these different people that's sick now. somebody's sick, and these people are sick and stuff like that. And so before, it was never a big deal. You go to church, you go to the event, you come home, you never hear about nobody being sick. But now, since we have that mindset, going through the whole COVID thing, is we're a lot more aware of somebody that's sick or people that's sick. And so I just think that that's how we change.
No, that's true. That's true. I remember back in the day when we were sick, it wasn't nothing that was put out there for everybody to see. You just kind of just stayed in your house, drunk your ginger
Mm-hmm.
ale,
Exactly.
eat your saltine crackers and your soup. Y'all know how us black people think all that stuff is better.
Drink
Gatorade.
your ginger ale. It's ginger ale
Ginger
for my
ale.
generation.
Yeah.
It's tea for me.
So, but nowadays, once you say you sick, everybody know about it. We
It
posting it
become
on
news. Yeah.
Facebook. It becomes news. We putting it on Instagram. It's out of control, man. It's out of control. But that's all you got, Coach.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all Coach got, man. We'll appreciate that. That was sponsored by Rapid Returns. If Jimmy was
Sponsored
here.
by Rapid Return.
Rapid Returns and Impact radio station. That's what that was sponsored by.
www.4mpact.com. Check it out. I'm rebranding too, man. I'm rebranding
Okay.
Sit Lion with the mic.
I like that. I like that.
Impact Music.
I like that. Shout out to
It's
Coach.
not just music, it's influence.
Hey, there you go. And if you ain't being influenced,
The right
I
way.
ain't got nothing else. I was trying to come up with it. I was off the top of my head, but I could. But let's get into it, man. Let's jump into our first discussion here, man. We talking about stress right now. So I know we was just mentioning about mental health, a lot of mental health issues and things that goes on surrounds around stress. At least that's what I think sometimes. So let's talk about stress a little bit, just a tad. What stresses y'all out? What are the things that triggers y'all stress feelings?
My job.
Your job. Okay, why does that job? And I don't want you to go in depth of what you do, but why does your job stress you like that?
It's the most draining part, and I've expressed this to even my boss. I said the most draining part about it is you're almost like a therapist to some of these people that you speak to. I don't like I'm a natural born listener. I can listen all day and I'm good with that. But like sometimes you have the same people complaining about the same thing over and over again. Then it's like you gotta kind of be a broken record because you gotta repeat yourself over and over again. And it's like you can't get through some of these people's. And sometimes my conversation could be like an hour and there's really no real issue. It's just they want to vent. So that's the most draining part about it. And the fact that the way my job works is you got certain fires to put out first before you can get to other people. So that's what causes me stress sometimes. But like I've learned my mechanisms. When I feel like I'm about to get stressed, put on my little AirPods and start listening to some music, or start singing my own tune so I don't go crazy.
Okay.
But
okay, that was gonna
my
be my
job.
next question. That was gonna be my next question. How do y'all deal with stress? But we're gonna go to Coach A and Mr. Who Loves Your Baby and what stresses y'all out. Coach, what's some of the things that may he said, "Woo."
I don't really let nothing really get to me like that. I would say that if I ever do have stress, it's just from my wife. We might have disagreements or stuff like that. That might be the only thing that can really get to me as far as stress. Because other than that, I don't really put a whole lot of emotional weight into other things. Initially, there's a difference when you have a quick emotional or a feeling about something real quickly, but after that, it quickly dissipates, and I'm like, cool, I just file it and keep moving. But the biggest thing is, I would say that just being honest, is that my wife, because she has such a big impact in my life, then whenever stuff is not going right between us or with her or anything like that, then that would get me stressed out. But other than that, I don't even, I just let things go. I chose a long time ago not to let things rent space in my head.
Yeah.
Instantly. And somehow, and my wife can tell you, because sometimes I don't even, to the point where I don't even remember that things happened. You like, remember you was arguing at this time, or you was doing this, and I was like, I don't even remember. Once
Once
that
it's over, it's
it's
over.
It's
over,
over.
I push it out and move on to the next thing.
Yeah. Mr. Who Loves Your Baby, stress, man.
Man, I guess the number one thing would be my health and my issues, man. That stress me out, man, because my health is everything, man. It's like if it fails or something goes wrong, man, I can't get up. I can't
Yeah.
go coach. I can't play with the kids. Can't hang with the wife. Can't play with the dogs. It's like, it's like, man, it's like, when is that stuff gonna end? When I'm gonna get back to normal? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's beyond my control. I guess that's what really stresses me out, that I can't control it.
There you
You
go.
know, it's just beyond my control. I gotta just do the things I have to do and do the things the steps the doctor tell me to do. And when it don't work, it's like, man, I'm trying to get back to normal,
Yeah.
So I can feel more like myself. So that's what really stresses me out.
I think because I was just gonna say that same thing. When I get stressed, it's because I can't control something. You know what I'm saying? And I like to be in control of a lot of things, and then when I'm told to step back and let somebody else do something, that's what stresses me out. Especially when I know there's a certain way to do things. You know what I mean? When I know there's a certain process, and then when it's not being done to my expectations, that stresses me out. And me and Kree have had that conversation. And I've talked to Kree about that. Where and I'm not trying to put nobody out, nothing like that, but we have a podcast that we love to be a part of, and sometimes it stresses me out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes this podcast stresses me out because certain things can't get done to my expectations, or certain things isn't turned in to my expectations, and that's what really Coach A laughing. But that's some of the things. That's just an example. Don't get it twisted, people that's watching. I love everybody that's on this podcast, and I love being with them every Saturday and anytime we can get together. But that's just an example of one of my stresses I go through. Like I said, I took a mental health day on Wednesday. Um, I got a lot of projects going on, not just with the podcast. I got a lot of side projects going on that I'm doing. Then I got a family. I'm planning a wedding, and I had to stop because I was getting back into that mode where every little thing was starting to bother me. You know what I'm saying? When the kids would come and talk to me, I would get irritated. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the stuff that I got going on, some of the aspects of that stuff I can't control. So that's one of my biggest things, is not being control of things. And I know I have to take a step back sometime and let others do some things, so I wouldn't have to, take that stress into my heart. But that's my thing. That's my thing as far as stress. So my next question is, and I told crew I was going to ask this question: how do y'all deal with that? Because I know I took a mental health day off, and I did it on purpose in the middle of the week. You know what I'm saying? Xavier was sick, so that did give me an excuse. But how do y'all handle mental health? I sat around and I watched TV. I listened to music. Of course, I scroll down social media, play some video games. How do y'all deal with the stress?
So I wanted to elaborate just a little bit, like when you and Telly talked about control. I do think that a lot of stresses is the lack of not being in
All of it. I was
control.
gonna say the same thing.
Yeah,
All at the core of any stress period
yeah.
is
Yeah.
lack of control.
And I
Yeah.
think that's what gets us off the rail. And especially for someone who, like for me, I'm the oldest, and I've practically raised my siblings. I'm first generation American. So everything I've done was always been on my own. So just like you, like if nothing is done to my expectations, that throws me off the rail, because I'm just like, well, you can't do it the way I can do it. So that stresses me out.
Yeah.
But like, it is, yeah, like we're all agreeing, it is a self of lack of control. But for me, that's one of the reasons why I took a break from the podcast, because I had so much going on, and mentally I was like, I need something off my plate, because for me, I want to be a superwoman, and I always
Yeah,
want to be a part of everything that I feel like I want to be a part of. But I said I need a break. So and that break helped me a lot. Like I mean, there was days I was just like, wow, I didn't realize like just these couple hours in the morning on a Saturday helped me with what I needed to do.
yeah,
But for stress in general, like I said, like I go to my music, but I also, I start speaking out the word of God for me, because I learned that I could speak it in my mind, but the words coming out of my mouth more audible. It's more effective within your spirit and your soul than it is you thinking it, because you can go from one thought to another in seconds.
yeah.
But once I start speaking it, I'd be like, okay, Lucretia, you got this. Or I'll be like, oh, you're fearfully, wonderfully made. Or like I'll go into like everything that's going on in my life, like it's gonna work out for my good. I will start speaking that in order for my stresses to go down. And then I realize, okay, I got this, girl. So that's the way I deal with it.
Got you, Coach. How you deal with it, man?
A couple ways. One thing I want to reiterate with her is speaking is very important because it changes your thought. At the core, again, the two core factors of stress is not being in control, and then the other one is your perception of what you're looking at or what you're seeing or what you're viewing. Those are the two core things: is your perception and that, of course, you're not being in control of it. And so if you can get a hold of those, number one is thoughts changes your thinking. So if you instead, in addition to saying the word of God, you speak an affirmation or something over yourself, your mind is going to begin to follow that, and that'll help relieve that stress as well. And the Bible has awesome affirmations, especially knowing that you don't, that God will take care of it, or it's all going to work out for the good, no matter what's going on. Those things help. And that's what helped me as well. Another thing that helped me the most is that I've prepared myself for stress early, meaning
Mm,
I continue to tell myself, if you look at it, I continue to tell myself that I don't accept stress and I don't accept
mm,
worry. And
that's
so
good.
it becomes part of my personality, so that when something happens, I might be shocked initially, but then that personality kicks in and I just deal with it, the best I know how, and I don't let it really get to me. And so we have to continue to do these things on a regular basis, and that'll help us deal with stress as it comes. Because if it's not your natural personality to do something, then you're not going to be able to do it in that moment. It's like training for football or any sport. You have to work on these things ahead of time, so that when you're faced with that situation, you can hit the move, or you can hit the right or the spin. But if you never worked on it and prepared yourself for that early, then how you going to be able to perform in that moment? And so that's some of the things that I do, is continuing to tell myself that I don't let stuff get to me, or I don't get stressed out. Even when I led today, I said, first of all, I try not to let stress get to me. That just becomes a part of my personality. And so once you do that, when it comes up, your that inner personality is going to kick in. You're going to, you might get upset in the moment or whatever happened, but then it'll quickly dissipate. And so
Hmm.
that's how I deal with it. It's just not to allow it to be a part of me, as I move forward. Even before stressful situations come up,
Yeah,
I realize that we live in a world with other people and we can't control everything. And so if I spend my mind or my thoughts worrying about stuff I can't control, then I'll be worried a lot or often. And so that's some of the things that I help. Another thing too is that knowing that stress is the biggest harm to the body. It's
it's a
it
silent killer, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a
you
silent
hold it
killer.
in your cells and you hold it in your body, and it's one of the biggest killers is stress.
Yeah,
It is hard for people to heal from different ailments and stuff if they're stressed out at the same time. So I take all these things to heart when I think about it, and so I continue to tell myself I don't let stress be a part of me. I'm not
Right.
stressed out. I don't, you know what I'm saying? As I continue. And so, you
yeah,
got, and one last point I want to make again is that, the reason you're doing that, the reason I do that is because I want to make it part of my personality. If you make being a happy, joyful person a part of your personality. And then when these situations come, it's going to be harder for you to revert back to the old person, because your natural thing is to just be happy and to deal with the situation in a positive way.
Got you, Mister Who Loves Your Baby. How you deal with that? How you deal with that stress, man?
Well, prayer is one way, but mostly I just, go to my people and I talk, you know. And it ain't even got to be about what stressed me out. I just talk. We just conversate, whatever. And while we talking, I'm relaxing. My mind is at ease. And I figure that when my mind is at ease, the solution comes to me sometimes, a lot of the
Right.
times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there you go. It's like I rely on them. They don't know that's what I'm doing. But we just kicking it, talking, and sometimes I will go to my mom with the direct problem, like, this, that, and the other, and she'll tell me, well, pray about it. I was like, you know what, you're right. I'm gonna pray about it, and that helps me, sets me straight and relax.
Got you.
Because she tell me all the time, you can't be stressing yourself out. You sick, don't stress yourself out. You're gonna wind up in the hospital.
Yeah.
You know, she gets worried without saying she worried. I just know she worried,
But
but
that's your mother, man. You still a
yeah,
baby, no matter what. You know what
yeah.
I'm
So I'm
saying?
like, let me calm down, man. I don't want her worry me about me. Shoot, she's 63. I don't want her to get stressed out and something happen. So yeah, I just find it, just to conversate, hang out, maybe like you said, video game, watch a movie, but mostly just talking. Talking
Just
calms me
talking.
down pretty much.
Yeah, I got you. I know. I'm just looking at the comments, and Sam was mentioning the kids, and her job and what she got going on. She was telling me about some stressful things she was going through throughout the week yesterday, and that can get pretty stressful, especially with these kids, man. Oof. I
It
had to
don't ever
tell.
stop.
It don't never stop, man. I had to tell my oldest yesterday. Like I came home, I was like, I feel like sometimes I come home and I got to lecture after I done been at work all day, and that is stressful. But the thing is, I'm a parent. That's what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? I can't just stop. I can't just be like, oh, this is stressful. I'm not gonna say nothing to y'all today. No, I gotta do it. But at the
Yeah.
back end of it, it's stressful. Like Coach say, it never stop. Yeah, I'm sure, Coach, you got older daughters that's grown at it. I know. I'm sure it still don't
Daughters,
stop.
my son just had to move back in with me. He like 29. So that's part of the reason why, now I got to get back in a different pattern, because normally I'm used to being able to get up and set the podcast up and jump right on, but he's occupying this room now, so I got to
I got
maneuver
you.
around that. So,
I
it
got you.
just happens. It just happens. But you're gonna see me still, wear a smile on my face, and
Yeah, and that's the most important thing. Still wearing a smile on your face, and that's another thing I want to get out to the people. Is no matter how long or how deep you are into the stress, man, let's laugh a little bit. Let's smile a little
I
bit. Let's,
laugh a
like
lot.
Telly said, yeah, let's laugh a lot. Excuse me, let's laugh a lot. Like Telly said, talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? I've had to talk to people. You know what I mean? Like have people to check up on you. Jimbo check up on me all the time. I talked to him the other day, and he was talking that foolishness, but at the end of all that foolishness talk, I was just calling to check up on you, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, and you check up on people. Don't always rely on everybody to check up on you. You go check up on people, because that also help. Interaction with people, that helps. So that's what we got on the stress thing. Anybody that's watching, y'all please drop down what stresses y'all out, how y'all deal with it. Maybe it's something that we could potentially use in our own lines of stress in our lives. So great conversation, y'all. Great conversation. Um Once again, everybody, please like, subscribe, and share. Y'all check out our social media handles. Um I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared. But y'all check out our social media handles, please. and continue to show love to us. We were not able to do a lot of this stuff if we didn't have the family and the friends that subscribe and show all that type of love, man. So y'all continue to do that for us. But let's move into something else. I got on the docket. A little bit fun, and we can add anything else that we can to it. But we all were kids at some points, and we all still big kids at our current point. So let's talk about our favorite family board games real quick, man. Let's talk about that a little bit. Do y'all have some family board games that y'all go to? Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about how people get competitive, because I know for me, we cool before we start the game, but
Right.
once we start the game, you ain't gonna like me afterwards. And I'm gonna have
That's
to be
it.
like, let me give you a hug because it was just a game, and I get extremely competitive. But what's some of the board games that y'all like to go to when it's family time?
It's pretty long, but I love Monopoly.
Oh, I know that's at the top of everybody's. And
Yeah.
that's competitiveness. Man, I'm talking about, I feel like a straight hustler when I'm
No,
playing.
for real.
I feel like a hustler when I'm
For
on
real, shuffling your money like
Yes, yes.
Shuffling money.
That's
I
why
be,
You got all them properties.
I be stashing money for rainy days and stuff like. I feel like a hustler, man. So definitely Monopoly is on top of the list. What else y'all got? You see, Sam. She said Sam B is not allowed to play. She know. Because earlier,
Man.
I get competitive, man. I'm
I
telling
didn't
you,
see,
it
man, my
gets
family
serious.
didn't have many of fights over Monopoly. Freaking board turned over. Like, man,
I'm telling you. And the thing is, I get more competitive as long as the game is gonna be long. Because Monopoly can be a long game. As long as the game is long, I am competitive the whole way through, and it gets worse as long as we're still competitive.
and they upgraded it too. You can get the Monopoly with credit cards and all that stuff.
Yeah. What's some other games y'all got?
Battleship.
Battleship. I don't play Battleship before. It was a little boring to me though.
The classics, chess and checkers, for sure.
Oh man,
Checkers.
Chess and checkers. What about
so listen, real quick on checkers, Flying Kings.
What's Flying Kings?
You know, there's like different people pay it different ways. Like when you get to the end, right, and you get it, king, right? Do you allow your king to move all the way on that square, or do he only can move a certain number of spaces?
In the games that I play, it's on certain amount of spaces. Ain't no moving. We ain't doing all that though.
I've always been taught it can go, you know, that the whole spaceway.
Whole space.
Yeah, I think that's how I was taught too. Yep.
No.
So B, so you saying he can only move forwards and backwards then? One space?
Forward and back. We can move any way you go, but it's only one space for me.
One space, yes.
We ain't doing the queen. No, only the queen get that honor. We ain't doing the king.
Queen, how you get a queen?
How you get a queen in checkers?
I'm talking about chess. I'm sorry.
Even in checkers, a queen?
No, even when you double them up in checkers, nope, it's one spot.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm talking about. I played this other guy the other day, and he was like, "Oh, you get to move all across." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Okay, you want to play like that?
and toe his tail up, didn't you?
Oh, him up.
Toe his tail up. Me and Sam and our family, we like Family Feud, man. We had this real good game of Family Feud when we was in Orlando, and when me and Sam went to Orlando, and when our brothers, all us was there, we had just had a huge game of Family Feud. It was a great time, a lot of laughter. Family Feud is awesome. I feel like I should be on that show sometimes because I enjoy it. But you know what? If I was to ever get on the show, I'll play so terrible. But I feel like I'm great when I'm watching it because I'll be naming everything. Yeah. So Family Feud is a big one in our household as well. I was gonna say earlier, what about Yahtzee? I play Yahtzee a lot.
Oh yeah, I played Yahtzee too.
I ain't played in a while. I used to play that with my mom.
I didn't play Yahtzee but one time in my life.
I'm sure you didn't like it after that one time.
Yeah, I did. I won.
Oh,
you backgammon? You just play backgammon?
Oh yeah, backgammon. Yeah, man, that's the hood game. Backgammon and dominoes.
AC tops and bottoms.
Yeah, dominoes. What about Candyland?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did Candyland for
This
I'm
man got a
gonna-
list. He got a list over there.
I do, because
got it.
before we
Same
got
list.
on,
Yeah.
I was looking. I was like, man, I'm just trying to think of the games we used to play when
Sorry.
we were younger.
yeah,
Sorry,
sorry.
sorry is a good one. Sorry,
Shoots and ladders.
Shoots and
Yeah.
ladders. I played that a couple times. Shoots and ladders.
Life.
Yeah.
Life. I
Life
got
is
life
another
on
one.
my list over here. What about Clue?
Clue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I played. You know what?
I never
You
played.
never
Hey,
played
man,
Clue? Clue is
Clue is a
so
minute.
amazing.
Yeah.
Trying to figure
Risk.
out who that killer is amazing. Oh,
Mr.
hold on.
Humphrey.
Let me stop what we was talking about. Oh, somebody want to show up.
You know, he ain't played no board games at all. He look
Hey,
he's
no,
too
no, no,
young.
no.
He ain't
We
played
finna
no
talk
board
about
games
that
his
right
whole
now.
life.
We finna get on him right now. Because
All
he's
right.
early for Unhinged. He'll be there bright and early for Unhinged. Well, oh. How you doing, Mr. Mike?
How you doing, Mr. CEO? Good morning, everybody.
I'm doing
Good morning.
fantastic. I'm glad you joined us. I don't think I'm not glad you joined us. Because Cree popped up on us, and I was like, oh.
That would have sounded like
yeah, I'm glad you joined us, but I don't know why you're late, brother.
We'll talk about it after the show.
he's still on Vegas time.
Oh, you still on Vegas time? I'm
Hey,
glad you had
that's
a good time, by the way.
that's a little bit of it too, bro. Because honestly, I looked over and I was like what time is it right now? It's like six something, and I was like, oh no.
I'm back home.
It's all good, Mike. You know, I do a lot of that just to mess with you, but I'm still like, oh.
Hey, I know you should look like colors.
Yeah, it be your own people. That's what I'm about to say. It be your own people.
So
no,
Mike, Mike, you ever heard of Shoots and Ladders?
Yeah, is that the board game where you got the little I heard of Shoots and Ladders.
Yeah.
So Mike, we talking about board games. What's some of the biggest board games or best board games y'all played when y'all was younger, or what you play now with your family or friends?
Oh man, first of all, you gotta go to the classic, man. Monopoly, man. We
when you talk about Monopoly,
we about to start a fight now. Give me a reason to cut somebody out. Boy, look at here. After a while, I break out the pen and pad, baby. You in debt with me. You land you ain't got the money to pay. That's all right.
Hey, am I the only one that be trying to like create deals for everybody?
Yeah.
It's not in the rules, but I'll be like, listen, if I roll around your block and I step on this, I'll pay you like half. But when you come over here to the boardwalk, I'll cut you some slack.
Yeah. That's what we used to do.
That's cheating. Y'all playing the good way. That's cheating. The rules is there for a reason. You can't afford to pay, you got to give up your stuff.
Listen,
oh man, we cut deals. And
I'm telling you, we cutting deals and all that type stuff.
Hey, I turned Monopoly into jailhouse currency. What for? Property, I'm gonna need one of them honey buns out that cabinet. It's getting real over here.
That's how you make it fun, though. That's how you make it fun.
You leaving out of there with a Winn-Dixie bag full of honey bun, Snickers, and ramen noodles. So I'm taking that home for real.
Taking the kids' food, man. It ain't that serious.
I'm taking a whole taking a whole box of Capri Suns. Don't play with me.
Mama, what happened to my honey buns? Don't worry about it. Go back
Monopoly.
to bed.
That's what you
Monopoly.
But that's what's up. What are any other board games y'all played?
I don't know. This ain't a board game, but it's definitely a game that everybody play, and that's spades.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't played a good game of spades. I ain't played a good game of spades.
Man, you talking about a fight? Now that game right there, boy.
Don't mess
Oh,
around.
where mine at? I want one.
Partners fighting each other.
Oh, what he doing? He brought you a juice, ain't bring nobody else none?
Hey, listen. That's Jeffrey.
Master Wing.
That's Jeffrey right there.
So you feel, huh?
Yeah, I'm Uncle Phil.
First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
But now, before we move on, I kind of want to get Jody's input on what we was talking about earlier with the stress thing. And then we can go on to our third thing.
Well, I want to remind y'all, I want to say one more thing about the games. Have you ever heard of Jackbox?
No.
I've heard of it, but I've never played it.
Listen, you have to look it up Because if you have like a PlayStation, or you can even do it on the Fire Stick, Jackbox is a cool game for the family. You have everybody that if they have a cell phone or internet connection, you log in and everybody make characters of themselves. And so what happens is different games is about tricking people. Like you will have to draw a design, and then once the design come up, each person has to guess what it means. And then one of the guesses is the real one, but then you have other people that you're trying to trick to make them think that that's what it means. I'm telling you, it's so fun. It's so, and they do it with questions too. Like they might ask, the Queen of England died at such and such date or something. It'll have a funny question on there, and you have to come up with an answer. First, you have to guess what you think the real answer is, and then the second time you have to try to trick somebody else. So you have to come up with an answer that you think that somebody else believes.
Hey, we gotta do that. We should do that on a live.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. How we can do that live.
Yeah, we should.
Yep,
I
thought about that for a while.
Let's think about that. See how we can make that happen. I think we should do that live. That's what's up. So Mike, we talked about stress earlier, and we all just went around just saying, what's the type of things that stresses us out, and how do we deal with stress and that type of stuff. So that's those same questions are going to go for you. What are some of the things that stress you out that get you to that point? Like, man, I gotta stop, or like, man, I gotta handle this. Like, what are some of the things that stress you out?
Trying to be like at my stores early in the morning, and knowing doggone well there's traffic outside and you got school traffic, and I really get myself all pent up and stressed out trying to speed, and I really just like, hey, take a deep breath, play if you 5 minutes late, it's okay. But it's like I really get myself like amped up trying to get somewhere like early in the morning. Like I'm leaving and I'm like, I be trying to be all the way across town in like 30 minutes with this unrealistic expectation of it's 80 school buses out there, old people out there. And so I really be trying to I be really trying to get from like Bradenton to like Clark Road in like 30 minutes.
Get it.
But Bradenton Clark Road in 30 minutes in that traffic?
In my mind, because you know what it is? I have to stop putting this thing in my mind. In my mind, I could do it on the weekend. Why can't I do it on the weekdays?
Yeah.
That's because the school buses ain't out there.
That's what I'm saying.
The school zones be shut down.
You can get there in 30 minutes if you start an hour early.
Yeah,
that's true though.
If I leave at 6:40, I can be there by 7:30. But it's just one of the things like trying to get somewhere with this traffic. I stress myself out. I get myself all amped up, and I'm just like I'm trying to get across town, and so I have to take a deep breath. I'm like, hey, if you 5-10 minutes late, it's not your fault. You left. You didn't mess around. You got there.
So how do you deal with that when you're in that moment and
you feel
all those school buses and they're stressing you out, all the old people, because in Florida, but when the old people up, they up at like 4 a.m. and they out doing their running around, and of course you just
causing accidents.
Driving down one-way streets, like we all know it in Florida. We all know how that. Yeah, you know how I look.
Hey, hold on. Hey, you got the 4 lanes. You got 2 lanes each side, and you got the 2 old people. One driving 40, one driving 39, and the speed limit be 50.
Get past them.
The speed limit be 50. You can't get past them. I literally will pull over and take a deep breath and be like, "Look, chill, bro, chill. It's okay. It's okay. You on your way." Chill, you're gonna eventually get there. And I have to tell myself that because I forget it's not that big of a deal if I'm a little bit late. And I ain't even really on no schedule. It's like my biggest stressor is I put myself on a mental schedule and I get so stressed out when I don't follow that. And so I have to tell myself, like, hey bro, chill, it's okay. If you a little bit
you know what? Going back to what we were saying earlier with Coach and Creature and myself and Telly said, it's because you can't control it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And Coach said it earlier. That's probably like the main thing of stress is when you notice and you can't control what's going on.
Yep.
So I think that's what not just us. That's everybody. When you realize you can't control something, and you get into that motion of and you get upset. That's because you can't control nothing. That's what stress starts to.
Yeah, my stress
empower your mind.
Up here, I'm on a schedule all the time. Like that's my biggest issue.
And when that schedule ain't going to where you want it.
Like I had to turn it, bro. When I was on vacation, I had to turn it off on vacation because I was like, I put myself on the sky. It's like, bro, you are on vacation. Stop it. Okay, it is okay if you don't have a schedule. And the problem is, I always put one up here in my mind, like always put a schedule in my head, and I gotta stop doing that. I stress myself out. What else stresses me out? I mean, these kids, man. These kids stress me out.
Why you don't have no kids and you always saying kids?
No, listen, he don't have no kids physically, and he don't.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
But he's the world's greatest uncle.
Right.
Yes.
World's greatest godfather.
Bro.
No doubt about that.
These kids stress me out, bro. Listen, I don't know if you had not too long ago, but we had the somebody in like Riverview, down in like deep in Sarasota. They had like a shooting threat, whatever. Where they had like 40 cops pull up at the school, and they had to go clear the whole school and stuff because somebody made like a threat, right? And it's just like every once in a while you realize like that reality is still a thing. And so like I'm like, these kids kind of stress me out because I'd be like, hey, bro, I need to know your schedule and where your classroom's at because somebody come up to your school acting fool. It ain't gonna be no stuff like they had in San Antonio, bro. I'm busting down barriers and coming to get y'all. Like the police talking about.
That's real though.
No, that is real though. People don't understand how real that really is, and like Mike said, that stuff is still out here in the world. Like it'll be calmed down for a second, but this stuff still out here happening.
So again, I think that's a great topic because that's how we stress ourselves out. So we have to look at the percentage. Yes, it happens, unfortunately, but the percentage of it happening in our area is where the stress could be. If there's a high percentage that it's going to happen, then I can understand being stressed out about it. But just the fact that the percentage is real low will help me not worry about it. See what I'm saying? And so that's what we have to be able to take into account. I mean, otherwise we'll be stressed out about a bunch of stuff because there's kidnappings that happen all the time. We should be stressed out every day about that. There's accidents in the car where people die. We should be stressed out about that. So why just stop at one thing that's only a 1% chance that it happened?
Because it's
you make a good point. You make a good point.
It's a lot of that stuff. The chances of this that they're happening is just like, is it probably slim? But you know what? That's probably the same parents that probably had it happen to them. You know what I'm saying? They're probably in the same mindset. Like when I dropped my kid off to school, I didn't think that there's something that would happen here. So it's one of them things like it's slim, but it's still a possibility. So it's like work, these kids, and my parents, they be killing me. I'm talking about it. My parents killing me.
Why you trying to?
They got you cutting the grass and stuff.
No, man. I be looking at my parents like, what's wrong with you? Nothing. You don't feel good? No. How long you not been feeling good? About a day or two. You went to the doctor? No. Why? Because it'll pass. I'm like, how you know it's gonna pass when you went to the doctor?
My two favorite words now is no and stop when it comes to my parents. I was like, no, because no, I'm not doing that for you. Or I'll play stop it. Please don't stress me out. I don't need it. And it works.
Wow.
Listen,
it works.
Let's talk about how y'all trying to turn into the parents. Y'all
I am the parent.
I have no problem with that.
Go Creek said she is the parent.
I am the parent. Maybe I be looking at my parents, be like, y'all need to go. You going to the doctor today? Well, I don't know how I'm gonna get back. I said, I'll bring you back. I don't want you stopping your work schedule. I said, I got 248 hours of PTO. I'm fine. It's okay. I will, hey, and especially if that appointment on a Friday, I'm already in overtime anyway, so it's cool.
Oh my goodness. Y'all leave y'all parents alone, man.
Well, hey,
y'all parents. Y'all ain't the parents. Y'all didn't have
I will not. It's payback time.
I feel like a parent.
It's payback time. All the times you messed with me when I was younger, I'm on you now.
Hey, listen, I called my mother on something one day, and I was just talking to her about it, and I was starting to sound like a parent. I was like, oh, I forgot who I was talking to. Let me lower my voice a little bit. And she called me on the too. You was getting a little into it, wouldn't you? I was like, yeah, I had to realize midstream. I had to calm myself down a little bit. Realize who I was talking to. She's like, all right now. Yeah, we just left it at that. You know what I'm saying? So we got us as children need to stop being our parents' parent. They got parents. You did what I'm saying? Creisha. They got parents.
Not parents, they got parents. They're all dead, so they got me.
But those are major.
Those
are some major stress factors too. Like when you have parents that you have to. The traffic is major too, and then dealing with parents that as they get older, you got to look out for them and stuff like that. So those are major stress things that you have to try to balance because again, you don't want yourself to be compromised because of all the stress. So at some point, you got to be able to let it go and be like, "Yo, it's your life."
That's why my word is no one stop. Like my mom knows, like she knows. So I'd be like, I need you to chill out. Like when we all went to New York for my sister's wedding, I said, look, I need you to stop, chill out, and let me handle it. That's it. That was the end of the conversation because I don't need her worry on me.
Yeah, mine is the same way, man.
I'm on their neck. Okay, I say y'all finna go to Alaska for 2 weeks. I say don't get down there act like y'all don't know nobody down here. Stop calling the phone. I heard blow up your phone. It's gonna be a problem when you come back. They get out of town, act like they don't know nobody around here. And then one day I wake up and they in there packing. I say, where y'all going? Oh, we going out of town for a few days. And you ain't discussed this with nobody. You ain't tell nobody where you going. So now I'm on the phone with my brother. I didn't even tell you about your grown ass parents up here thinking they ain't told nobody where they going. Well,
and look, I got one of them parents that they call you every time something bad happened or something bad happened to somebody they know or a friend of theirs. I'm like, I didn't hear this.
Hey, Coach, they automatically think it's gonna happen to you too.
I don't know what she's thinking, but I just get those calls and it's the whole conversation about this other person did this and this other person happened and how I'm like, dang, I don't care, Mom. I'm like, I mean, I don't say that, but that's how I protect my mind. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I know she got to vent and say whatever, but in my head, I'm like, as soon as we hang up the phone, I ain't gonna remember. I'm like,
I'm glad my mama not like that. Mama,
you remember you went to school? She like, you remember you went to school with this person where they father died, or I'm like, well, they was old.
It's a mom thing, bro. Cause my mom be like, let me tell you how you remember such and such back in the day when they mama died. And I'm like, why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me this?
She's just informing you that they mama died. That's all. I'm glad my mama ain't like that. My mama cool, man. She don't be all up in our business. She don't be. I mean, there's times she calls, she be like, I just want to say I love you. And then I'd be like, what you got going on? Like, she's calling. She's like, no, nothing. I ain't got nothing going on. I'm just calling all my children. She'll call us all one by one. She'll start with me since I'm the oldest and go down the line and just calling y'all to say I love you. I just making sure y'all know. All right, Mom, but don't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? don't be doing that and make me think something wrong. But no, Mama D don't be all up in our business like that. She don't be all up in our face. Mama D be on her way. She's a full person that understands her children are grown. She ain't got to deal with it.
I tell you need to have Mama D talk to my parents. My parents call me and be like, hey, I was riding down the street and I seen this house with a sign. Told me, really tell you want to go look at it. I be like, bro, I'm not buying. I said I'm not buying a 4-bedroom house.
Drop and settle, get out hints. That's the house.
I saw this beautiful girl in church, boy. Your
parents dropping hints.
Listen, I told them, don't point of dropping hints. I'm here to keep an eye on y'all. Remember both of y'all was having COVID and didn't tell nobody? Yeah.
You got them parents, they probably just put Vicks on everything. We all right.
Bro, I told you, I went over there and they both had COVID. I go over to my dad and barbecue and chicken wings.
Hey, you gotta eat.
Yeah.
They talk about some. Well, you don't want none. I said, yeah, I'm gonna get some because you barbecue. But I'm gonna get on your case about out here chopping wood, barbecue, and chicken wings.
You need to be somewhere sitting down, getting some rest. That's what you need to be doing.
This is the reason why we had this. Reason why we having this conversation, guys, because you don't know how to act.
Let them live their life.
Hey, man, we love our parents, man. We love our parents.
Oh yeah.
If they wouldn't do the things that they do, it wouldn't be normal. You dig what I'm saying? So we love our parents. There it is on our parents. But let's move on to this last. We kind of drifted to the parents talk. Hey, I know one time we had an idea of bringing our parents on and talking, so we need to do that at some point as well.
I will not have that slander on my name.
Hey, we need to do that as well. But
Yeah, that's gonna be like a 4-hour episode there.
yeah, it's gonna be 4 hours. But last thing I wanted to just touch on was Hurricane Ian that came through about a month or so ago. It's
last month.
It was like the end of September, I believe.
End of September.
Yeah, last week of September.
So one thing that was brought up that I wanted to kind of discuss is that one of the jailhouses there in Lee County, they didn't evacuate, and they were in an evacuation zone, and they didn't evacuate the inmates.
Oh wow!
From the article that I read, that they said, well, the inmates are fine. We're just going to put them on a higher level in case it floods. So I want to get y'all thoughts on. I know y'all want to institutionalize people that have done wrong and y'all trying to get them right, but is it right for them not to care about their lives when something like that, especially going through Fort Myers, because Fort Myers got it the worst. Fort Myers got hit the worst. That eye went right through Fort Myers. So what are y'all thoughts on them not evacuating the inmates, and how do y'all feel about them not valuing at least their lives as well? You know what I mean? Because what runs through my mind like that, y'all didn't evacuate the inmates, but the guards and stuff like that, were they there too?
Yeah.
You know, did y'all evacuate?
They were there.
Okay. So
and I can tell you from experience, because I worked.
Okay, so speak on it. So speak on it. What is the thought? What is your thought when you hear something like that?
First thing, just for me, I can't say that they don't value their lives or whatnot. That's kind of hard to say that. Just because of that situation, there has to be a lot more factors involved to say that a person don't value their lives. But in those particular situations, when I worked in detention center here, juvenile detention, the hurricane, I forget what hurricane it was coming at the time, and so we had to pack up all our stuff, extra stuff, and take it to the facility and plan on staying there overnight. For as long as it took, because that we can't run the risk of letting these criminals or these juveniles at the time get loose or get free or get out or any of that situation. So I understand in that particular situation, if the inmates are there, then there has to be guards that's there too. Like if they just left them and locked the building up and everybody left, that's different. But that's typically not how it works. You have to have some staff that's there to make sure that the facility is running. And so just depending on the number of inmates that's there, where you're going to take them to. That's the thing, and how you're going to get them there. So it might have, and then the structure, they may have thought that the structure was strong enough to withstand the hurricane. The only thing that they was worried about is flooding. And so
did they have flooding though? Do you know?
That it didn't say in the article. I didn't read past what it said in the article. I just read it this morning, to be honest with you.
But it could have. We could.
It could have. Yeah.
Yeah, it could definitely had a tragic effect. It could have. The hurricanes is powerful. Lost power.
My thing is, if they are in a evacuation zone and you're told to be evacuated, why won't you do that?
Right. I agree.
Yeah, that's the question.
We don't know. I'm not making an excuse, but we don't know the protocol exactly for evacuation, because I know that
we don't.
Are houses by the beach and like trailer homes. Like those are the two places I know for sure get evacuated. So with a structure like a county jail, right, it could probably stand that hurricane. So we don't exactly know what's the protocol for a evacuation zone. And plus, honestly, from what I kind of tried to do a little bit of research on that too when Sam sent it to us, I don't think they might have just had the resources to move all those people, because like you got to get those people cuffed up, and put inside of vehicles. And I don't know if they felt like they didn't have the vehicles, the manpower, the staff or whatever to move all those inmates.
So let me ask this, because that's a valid point. And this is just hypothetically speaking. What if something happened to those inmates during that hurricane?
then that county jail got to take responsibility for that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the problem is they would have probably threw it off as like, oh well, it's not that big of a deal, but it is somebody's big of a deal because not everybody in those county jails is some serial killer, rapist, murderers. You got people in there on a baby mama not paying child support, right? And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody in there.
But that don't even matter. It doesn't matter what your charge is. Once you're in that facility, you're under those people's care. So
so it's
what
like,
you did in the past don't matter. It's the fact that you would endanger this person's lives. But I agree with you 100%.
And the family should have been able, and if anything would have happened to any of these inmates because of this hurricane, I feel like the family should have had 100% reasonable to sue. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't matter what they did. My loved one is in your care. You have put yourself in a position that you are 100% responsible for this person's safety.
Absolutely.
This person doesn't get, treated like the human being that they are, despite whatever charges they might have against them. You know what I'm saying? That's on your head. So it's like, if that's the case, then the family should be able to sue. And the jail should be able to, somebody should take responsibility, and it should go all the way to the top. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's in charge of that county jail should have to answer those questions and stand 10 toes down to whatever happened to these inmates, because you did put that in the evacuation zone. You did put yourself in that position where you've held accountable for everybody in there. So despite what they did, the number one thing should be safety, even with the inmates and the guards. And it's not even like you're putting inmates, you're putting the guards. You know what I'm saying? Because what say happen something and something happened to one of those guards. It's like,
that's true. That's true.
It's like something happens to anybody. So at the end of the day, it 100%. You got to hold the man at top responsible for not making that call.
It makes a lot of sense.
But fortunately, it turned out to be a good call.
Right. It was nothing that it was bad, but
but that's one of those. Go ahead, B.
No, I was just gonna say that was just one of the things, because I didn't know, like when I mentioned about guards not being there, I didn't know that guards had to be there. Period. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
So thank you for letting me know about that. But those questions just arose because I'm the man on the outside looking in. Like Jody said, we don't really know what the evacuation standard is, but and just give people some clarity. It wasn't like it was a prison or anything like that. It was just county jail. So it wasn't like it was that big of a deal. But of course, Sam brought up the question, and we're gonna talk about it. So
I mean,
I want to tell you though, my incident, the hurricane that went through Miami, right? We had a hurricane. So at the time, when I was working in detention, I was on the hurricane relief team. So we had to pack up within 24 hours and drive to Miami to help them, because a lot of the workers wasn't showing up. Their houses, they didn't have power, none of that stuff, so they weren't showing up. So we had to drive to the facility and stay in the facility. We had to stay in the facility and work like almost 24 hours a day with those kids. And the Miami kids is way different than the Bradenton kids. I just want to tell you that we didn't have like a right the first week we there, because we officers, right? So it's like 5-6 of us, right? And so we working with the Miami group, with the Miami officers that's there. And so they mean to the kids. I'm telling you, I don't want to, say it, but they real mean. We used to following protocols, and they were like, I'm trying to tell you, these kids is different. And so they was like, we want to run the mod ourselves. We know what we're doing. We've been working up in Bradenton all this time. They were like, okay, we'll sit back and let y'all handle it. So we get there and we there and we give our expectations. Yo, this is going to be this is going to be that. They were like, man, sit your butt down.
They put y'all place.
That same day, it was a huge riot, because you had like the Haitian population and the I guess the American population during that time. They just was fighting each other, and there was a huge riot at that place. We had to slam kids, take kids out of there. I was like, I need to get
what
back.
Year was that?
Whenever that hurricane went through Miami. I don't even remember what it was. Remember, I was just telling you, when it comes to stress, it comes in and goes out. I don't really pay it unless I remember it, but I can't tell you what date that was. I think it was Charlie. I think
so
it was
like, that's like early. Was it like real early 2000s, or was that like?
No, it had, because I moved here in 2004, 2003, 2004. So it had to be 2005 or 2006 or somewhere around there. it came through. But I had to go down there twice because we had the one that went through Arcadia. So I had to work in that facility too. We had to take kids and work there. And then we had the one that went through Miami. So I had to drive down there and stay with those kids. But those Miami kids they was something else, boy.
It's bad,
Yeah,
huh?
they're
was
a
bad.
different case.
They was
bad.
it's a whole different environment when you get to Miami, boy.
Mr. 305 ain't here to talk about it, so I know Mr. 305 gonna be watching, so I'm sure he'll have something to say about that. But no, that was some nice dialogue because, like I said, I didn't know a lot about that jail stuff. And I ain't never been in jail, so I don't know nothing about it.
I've been in jail, but I ain't never been to jail.
Yeah, he never did the process. Mr. Who Loves You Baby, we ain't hear much from you on that, man. Give us a little insight on your thoughts with not moving the inmates during that hurricane.
Well, it's like my mama always say, man. You go to jail, you're no longer a face, you're no longer a person. You're just a number.
Yeah,
you know, that's how they look at you. That's probably how they looked at it. Hey, you forfeit any rights of being considered a human being, I guess. You know, because
but does forfeiting rights mean that you can have your life put in jeopardy?
Hey man, listen. My uncle died in jail. Okay. He had meningitis, and they misdiagnosed him. You know, sent him back to his cell. He died. Grandma and them sued and everything. And I'm like, man, that's messed up. I'm like, because the man was telling y'all something was wrong, but they didn't care. They like, man, you're a prisoner, man, whatever.
How long ago was that?
Oh man, that was a minute ago. That was about a bit over 10 years ago, man. You know, so it's like that, man. You not looked at, you know, as a person. Like the one time they pulled me over, and I forget what it was, but they took me down to the little local spot up this road from here. And I was sitting up there and I was like, hey, I need my insulin. And they looked at me like, don't worry, the food keep you regulated. And I'm looking like, what? I'm a diabetic, man. You know, like,
food keep you regulated. Oh my
yeah, I'm like, you know, they looked at me like, man. And I'm like, come on, man. You can't possibly treat somebody like that. I'm like, this is a medical condition. You know, like, but so they don't look at you as human.
So, question, what were they supposed to do?
I'm supposed to get my insulin. Like,
I know how they supposed to. So they put somebody over, assuming they break the law. They got them in custody. They take them to the station. They say, hey, man, I need some insulin. What are they supposed to do?
Well, I told him my roommate, because we lived up the street, like my roommate can bring me my insulin so I can give myself my shot. And then that'll be it, because I forget what it was. I was getting out. That's all I know. I wasn't going to be there. You know, they looked at me like, whatever.
So Teddy, you sure you ain't use that insulin thing to move the process a little bit faster?
Exactly. I mean, people are like, man, you know how many times we heard that?
I don't know how many times they didn't heard it, but I'm medically documented, you know, like
you know what? I'm gonna pull this card and let's see if we can move this situation a little bit.
No, but seriously, man. For real, I didn't drink my insulin. That's the thing. You know what I remember? I was on my way to football practice. That's what it was. I had football practice that day, and I had done a job. My brother hooked me up with some dude because at this time I was looking for work and stuff. So we gonna do this job like little landscaping joint, you know. Dude paid me and stuff with my, you know, his check. Mm-hmm. I went to go cash the check at the currency exchange. This time I ain't had no bank account. And the check was a phony check.
They arrested you.
And in Illinois, even though I'm telling them, yeah, what happened, and they like, yeah, we know that happened, but you was in possession of it. So in Illinois at that time, since I was in possession of it, they had to take me down.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. I'm like, man, this ain't even my fault. And they was like, we know it's not your fault, but per the law, we got to. So I'm like, man, I'm in this joint. Let me get my insulin, G. You know, I'm like, he can bring it down. I can shoot myself up right in front of y'all, you know, away from people. And they like, whatever, man. You'll be all right.
They might have took you to the mean person in processing. Like
There's only one here.
Sound like the person who took you down. They be like, I know, man, but we just got to do, you know, we just got to take you. Sound like he would have helped you out. You went to the intake officer. They be mad. They don't care. They don't want to hear nothing.
They so don't, man. They be
them intake officers. They done heard it all. They done seen it all. You're gonna have to fall out for them to actually help you because they hear it.
They be having a seizure.
Man,
actually do
so yeah, man, they don't look at you like a person, man. You're a criminal. You did what you did to get in here. You forfeit your rights to any type of decent treatment or something. I don't know what the problem is, man. You know, but that's why I say, man, I don't try to put myself in position where another man decides my fate. I'm like,
not at all. No, not at
that's
all.
why I don't hang with people that do stuff. I'm like, what you doing? Catch you later, partner. That sounds like jail right there.
Yeah, that sounds like jail right there. Well, that was good, Con. I just wanted to pull that up real quick because I know Sam put it on the ballot to talk about a little bit. And thanks for everybody's, thoughts on it.
Hey, so B,
what's up?
Before you end today, I want to do a battle of the sexes. Since we got Cree back, I want to put her up against Jody. Right? And so, of course, what you do is you ask her a bunch of male questions that men should normally know to see how much she know about it, and then we'll ask Jody like some female questions that female.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
We got a little bit of time. Let's run it real quick.
Yeah,
fellas, I'm about to fail y'all bad. I'm about to fail y'all bad.
So we're gonna start with Jody, right?
Okay.
All right. It says, how many pills? Now, this is something you should know. If you out here messing around, this is something you might want to consider. How many pills are standard in a prescription of monthly birth control? 28, 30, or 31?
I would assume 31 because not every single one has 31 days.
I don't think it's an odd number though, Jody.
You don't think?
I don't think it's an odd number.
Do you know the answer?
No. It would have to be 30. It would have to be 30 then, because every month has at least 30 days except
it's
for like
28.
Well, I knew that.
28.
Yep, I knew that.
You knew it. All right, so now
it wasn't an odd number.
I was switching to Cree now. I'm gonna go back and forth. Okay, Miss Cree, how many volts are there in a standard car battery? 24, 12, or 30?
Isn't it 24? No.
What y'all say, fellas?
I say 30.
No, a car battery is 12.
Oh, dang.
I let us down too.
You'd have got that wrong too, huh?
I'd have got that wrong too.
The thing, I knew the answer because it's not the volts that keep the battery going, it's the cranking amps inside of the battery.
Okay, back to you, Jody.
Y'all both 0-1 right now.
0-1.
Yeah, 0-1. Keep track. Okay, Jody, you have 100% cotton red sweatshirt. What's the best water temperature to use when washing? Hot, warm, or cold?
Oh my gosh.
Jody, before you answer that question, think about it a little bit. Just think about it a little bit.
Listen.
You got it's 100%. I know you got 100% cotton shirts, but it's red. It's a red sweatshirt. What's the best temperature to wash it on, man?
I think I know.
Wouldn't it be like warm?
No, it's cold.
Cold.
It's cold, bro.
Oh my God.
Cold. It's cold. I knew
Oh
that
my
one.
God.
I knew that
Yeah.
one. It's cold.
Okay, for Cree, Miss
Over
Cree,
two, Jody.
Okay.
how many gears are on a bike being used to complete in an Olympic track event? Is it 1 gear, 3, or 10 gears?
Oh, I think I know this one too. You know this, Cree.
So I'm gonna say it again. How many gears are on a bike being used to compete in an Olympic track event? 1 gear, 3, or 10?
10.
That is wrong.
What? No, Coach. How is that
Only
wrong?
1 gear. It's only 1 gear.
Oh God!
I've seen 10-gear bikes.
I've seen 10-gear bikes too.
Olympic. Remember, this is an Olympic track event.
He said Olympic. I didn't hear the Olympic.
Okay,
part.
so that we'll let you slide on that one. We had to let Jody slide on one too. So, all right, let's go back up to Jody. Which of the following is not actually a Disney princess?
Okay.
Oh, you should know this.
Ready?
You should know this.
Okay. All right.
Is it Belle, Aurora, or Mulan?
You know this.
Okay, it'd be Aurora, cause
there you go.
It'd be Aurora. Because I know Belle and Mulan.
Wrong. It's Mulan.
Mulan. How you didn't know this?
I thought Mulan was a Disney movie.
Oh, he said Disney princess.
Oh, she's from Japan.
Oh God.
She's like an empress or whatever, right?
Hey, we let Jody slide on that one because I thought the same thing he did.
She's not a princess, she's an empress. Because she's from Coach ain't put me with the trick questions.
Yeah,
that was tricky. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Coach. Go ahead, Coach. I'm gonna get one of these days.
All right. Let me see what this next one is. It says, where would you apply a pre-emergent? I might not be saying that right.
Yeah, what the?
PR is PRE, right? Then they got a hyphen EMERGENT.
Never even heard of that word.
I've never heard of that word either.
I skipped that question. give another question. Skip that
another question. All right, here go another one. What is the real first name of the American golfer Tiger Woods?
Oh, Jesus.
Jackson, Ernie, or Edric?
I think I know this answer.
What's the 3 names? Jackson what?
Is it Ernie, Edric, or Jackson? First name.
Edric?
Yep.
Yes, that's correct.
Edric.
She got it right.
That's correct.
She got it right for Jody. According to the old wives' tale, how many times should a girl brush her hair each day so it's healthy and shiny?
I don't even know
20,
that.
100, or 500?
Is this a white woman?
I was gonna be like, I don't know about us.
Hey, because I don't see Cree brushing her hair 5 times a day. Once she get a good workout, she's
That's
straight
it.
for the rest of the day. Oh, if she got a
20,
bonnet,
either 20, 100, or 500.
I'm gonna go with 500.
Would you say which one?
No, he tried to put both of them
100. He got it right. He looked it up.
I don't even know. I'm gonna go with 100 because 5 is like, I don't know. 5 seemed like a logical answer, but it's a wives' tale. So
exactly.
The 500 seems like it's doing too much. So we're gonna go with 100.
You got it.
Wow.
All right, back to Cree. The wheels on the skateboard are often referred to as what? Trucks, glass, or spinners? Does any of you guys know this?
What was it?
It says the wheels on a skateboard are often referred to as what? As trucks, glass, or spinners?
Trucks.
What's your guess?
I guess
Spinners.
Trucks. Yep, that's right.
Trucks.
No snap.
She got it right.
It just makes logical sense.
Yeah. Well, spinners could have been spinners. Back to Jody. We only got a couple more. Jody, this is a good one. What do you call a single diamond set alone in a ring? solo, solitaire, or ace?
Wouldn't it be solitaire?
Yeah, you got it right.
You know what it was? You know what it is? Because on the radio in the morning, they always have those like Diamond District commercials. And they say that all the time. You just want a simple solitaire diamond cut?
Yeah,
and I'd be like, oh, okay. So solitaire on that one.
Oh, I thought you might have been out there looking for rings.
So that's it. That's it. That's it, fellas. I don't got no more questions.
Y'all saw he didn't answer the question.
Hey, what was the question?
No, it wasn't a question, just a statement. I said I thought he might have been out there looking for rings, and y'all saw he didn't answer.
You looking for rings?
No, I told you what it was. I've been listening to on the radio, and they always have like these diamond commercials on the radio and stuff. And
wait,
like,
so Mike, you dating somebody?
Hey, Mike, I got it, Mike. I got it. Not one man is above the group.
What is that supposed to mean? I don't even get that.
No,
no one man is bigger than the group.
We're not just gonna talk about one man right now.
Got you.
There are no David Ruffins in here.
Hey, did you keep track? Did you keep track of their scores? Who won?
I think Cree won.
I did.
Cree won.
Cree won 32.
Hey, that was a nice.
Hey, next week we put somebody else on the hot seat.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Hey, you know what? You know what? Next week we put B and Sam on the hot seat. We gotta get Sam to come in for about a good 5 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm competitive. Just know I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win.
Sam said she lucky if she brushed her hair one time. Look.
Sam ain't got to go to nobody's office in the morning. She work from home. She just roll out of bed, brush her teeth, and go to work.
And probably still be late.
Nah, she be on time. She be on
time. Oh, look at her.
But Cree, you back? You did what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've been watching her past shows, but we have been cutting up on your segment.
I know.
But we're gonna let you do it yourself.
Okay, everyone. I am back. I'm ready. I'm popping. I'm refreshed. You hear me? So, Cree's Corner today is take care of yourself. That's all I want to say. Is because, as I said earlier, I just had a lot going on, and I felt like I needed to take something out of my plate. And once I did that, I felt like, oh wow, like this is just what I needed to refresh myself. Like I had a wedding, I had like a lot more personal stuff going on. I was stressing myself out with a lot of things at work. So I would say just take care of yourself. Like B said, he took a mental health day. Do that. And if you don't have a mental health day at your job, take a sick day. If you don't got a sick day, I don't care. Just call out, because I think a lot of times we focus too much on what our bosses or managers are going to say about calling out and stuff like that, but they don't care about us at the end of the day. We really have to take care of ourselves, because we don't take care of ourselves, we can't show up for other people in everyone around us. So take care of yourself. Take a break. If you need a sabbatical, I know a couple of people taking a sabbatical. Take a sabbatical. Weekend off. Go off the grid. I plan on going off the grid for my birthday this year. Hopefully it works out. So yeah, take care of yourself, guys.
There it is. That's Cree's Corner, everybody. That's Cree's Corner.
She got the Bible right there next to the pillow. Woo.
I see it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you see it? My devotion this morning.
We always checking the surroundings now.
Hey, Coach, that's kind of weird though.
No, it ain't. When you zoomed in, y'all act like y'all ain't be looking all over around. Everybody's back.
Hey, look, Coach. Hey, no, I noticed your little day bed in the back didn't have the pillows and stuff.
Exactly. I told you what happened. I told you. Got me stressed out over here. I told you.
I got you, man. Hey, man, we want to thank everybody that joined us today. Again, please check out our social media handles. We appreciate all the love for y'all liking and subscribing and sharing. We appreciate the love that. And shout out to Nick, man. He's been putting out these reels and getting a lot of traffic with these reels he putting out, man. So shout out to Nick. Shout out to the Not Your Average Chef, Mr. 305, Jimbo. Shout out to Nate the Great as well. Any lasting words we got before we run it out? We run up the tab.
Cree basically said, "F that job." She really said, "F that job." They don't care
In
about
so many words. so many
God is my
words.
resource, so I don't need y'all.
Yes. Mr. Who Love You Baby, you got anything else?
That's
Nah,
it.
he ain't got much. He ain't even gonna say it. He ain't even gonna say it. Coach, you got anything, man?
Nah, man, it's good to be back. Had a couple
Good to be
weeks off,
back.
few weeks off.
Yeah, man. It's good to have y'all back, man. Mr. Michael Hinge, anything else you got, brother?
I mean, listen, as much as I hated to say this, man, if anybody listening, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles is the worst overrated restaurant in the world.
What?
What?
So
We'll
how
talk
was
about
your
it.
Vegas trip? We ain't even talk about your Vegas trip.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. But hey, much love to everybody. We'll see y'all on in-game. Y'all got in-game Sunday tomorrow.
Yeah,
Because we got the first week of NBA.
NBA, man.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll see y'all tomorrow in game, then we'll see y'all again Wednesday on Unhinged, and we back at the Saturday barbecue next Saturday. Y'all have a good one. We love y'all. And peace, man.
Peace out.
Tell them I ain't mad if they ain't know. You know I ain't mad if you love it. Can't nobody overtake this moment from me. So nigga, while I got it, the fuck it, it's all good.